Well, I made it somehow. Sorry about that. That other scream would not kick in, and that's probably my fault from not having that much experience doing this. So, welcome to Friday night, 5 o'clock, 4K Skywatching Podcast live out of Chandler, Arizona. Tonight, we're going to do a tutorial on KINOVEA software. This was the software that I used. That you might have seen in Investigation Alien with George Knapp. This is what I used to trace what is known as the M video. The M video is called that because it made kind of an M shape twice. It went in, did an M, then repeated the pattern, came out. When I traced that with KINOVEA, that popped out to me and told me that there's something here. A bird can't do something like that. It can't spell an M. A piece of trash wouldn't. The only thing that is even capable of doing something close to that's a drone, but there's no way a drone can bounce off the sky the way this thing did. That basically hit a wall at like 200 to 300 miles an hour and then bounced off like a tennis ball in the sky. So that told me that these things are leaving what Lou Elizondo calls breadcrumbs. They're leaving them behind in some of these videos. Maybe that was the purpose for it to begin with. I don't know. But I look for these patterns. When I saw that, it reminded me of Chris Miller's video. I posted a news thing that they did on Chris in 1998. Chris lived in Tucson, Arizona. He was a really good skywatcher. He's one of the few I've seen that was good out the gate. You don't start skywatching and become really good. That takes time. That's like saying I'm going to go fishing and you catch a big walleye in your first outing. Or you go hunting and you shoot a 5-point deer or something. It takes practice. Like this, I suck at podcasting. I said the first ones are going to suck. We're going to suck. Gonna be fucked up. Shit show. So you want to see a shit show? Tune in Friday at 5. If I get it running. And after a while, this will be smoothed out. Same thing with skywatching. It takes a while. It takes a couple of years to know what the hell you're doing. This is more blatant than what we're seeing going on in New Jersey. This is crazy what's going on in New Jersey. It's people who don't know what they're doing. Skywatching. Some of them do, some of them don't. I haven't seen anything with that's blown me away so far. Everything that I've seen most of the stuff looks like aircraft and some quadcopters. I haven't seen any industrial-sized things that blow me away. If you want to see an industrial-sized drone, look up DJI. There's a couple of guys went over to China to the headquarters. The DJI is the one that makes the consumer drones. And they have this one that's really big that you could fit in a truck and it pops out. Easily lifts 200 pounds. So you can lift people up with this. They lift, with that drone, solar panels, and they put them on mountains. So they have mountains. Well, there's just nothing with solar panels. It's just amazing. But yeah, they have those type of drones, but the stuff that I'm seeing doesn't look like that. So I'm seeing a lot of aircraft. So I'm not even sure what the hell is going on in New Jersey, if anything's still going on at all. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen some stuff on Twitter. Twitter is a fire hose, disinformation. When people got, like I said last time, if you're not using your real face and you're using a handle and you're pumping out UFO videos or telling people what's going on, you're full of shit. We need people to come out of the shadows that are ufologists first before. I mean, we got people who won't even show their face going on a podcast bitching that whistleblowers ain't coming out. Well, you first, bro. You first. So yeah, there's a lot of skywatching lessons to be learned. This is going to be one of my easiest lessons tonight using KINOVEA. It can get very complicated. I have some tutorials coming up that will build upon each other. So say if you miss part 3, you can just go back and rewatch part 1 to figure it out. So I'm going to make everybody watching better skywatchers. It's great what's going on in New Jersey. They're skywatching, but it's okay. It's okay if you screw up. We all do. We're all going to make mistakes. Nobody goes out and comes back. You know, everybody goes out hunting, they come back empty-handed. They go out fishing, they come back empty-handed. But what do? They drink some beer. So that's what's going on. That I think is a news blurb. It's still going on. This was absolutely the perfect timing for whatever this drone thing is. I mean, think about it. We have an administration that lost re-election, so they call him lame duck because they can't really do much in the transition period. So what the hell is he supposed to do? Start shit with China if this is China, or start shit with UFOs and then say, here's the UFO hot potato, Trump. So the government's kind of stuck saying stupid shit like there's a no-fly zone, but there's nothing happening for us to have the no-fly zone. The federal government, when it comes to UFOs, is pretty funny because they don't make any sense. They're pretty fucked up. So let's get into KINOVEA. There's a link in it was in the other description I was supposed to do. For some reason, this chat wouldn't launch, so I started a new one. And that's what you get when you're using, I guess, OBS. Hopefully we have a 2K stream coming out. So we're going to get into the M video. But I couldn't get you can't get anything over a 1080p or 1080i out of StreamYard, which I've used before. So I'm going to try and transition off of that damn thing and get into just OBS. I think when we get fiber, we can get full 4K coming out. The best I can get is 2K right now. So let's switch over to KINOVEA right now, and we're going to go through an easy lesson first. We won't start with the hard stuff. So this KINOVEA, and I have it installed, and I'm going to go through some things here and show you what's up. It's Friday night. I don't know about you guys. Have your favorite beverage or whatever. I'm drinking some Folgers. So if out of the way real quick. So if you want to follow along, you can. If not, that's fine too. So what we have here is I have loaded up. This is our canvas that we're working on. So up over here on the left is where we're going to draw our files from, okay? And then below it is going to be the files in the folder. So down here in this area, what I have loaded here is a folder I have called NASA. And it's going to load everything from that folder. So yeah, I can just load up stuff and it will, that's how that works. That's your canvas, all right? Okay, so what we're going to do is an easy video first. So this is going to be playback here. So I already have it, well, we're going to do this one here. Let's watch through the video first. What we have is a bunch of different events from Space Shuttle mission STS-48, which took place in 1991. This is a close-up of the object. The object pops up, seemingly goes into orbit. A flash happens below, and it does a turn, and it accelerates at impossible speeds, and it heads out into space. All right, so down here on the bottom is going to be the track, a little, guide of where we are. And you have your standard things here. Down here at the bottom are going to be a bunch of tools. So let's go back and let's do a track on this. Now up at the top this is going to be your basic tools here. And what I want to show you is, so you have file, you have open, edit, and stuff. So up here, you want to go to preferences. So in here are some controls under drawings. And under here, these are important things here. You have opacity, like do you want this to be transparent or not? How many frames? Tracking units, and this is a scientific tool. So let's just start. So we have this object here. Let's get it right when it pops up. This will be a pretty easy one to do. And I think you'll kind of get the gist of it after you see. Okay, so here let's pause. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to hit path track. So hold on just a sec there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to enlarge the canvas so it's easier for people at home to see what I'm doing. All right. So we're back here. So what we do is we right click, we hit track path. So you see that targeting on the center, you're going to want to put that on what you want to track. And then in here is your bounding box. Adobe Premiere is kind of like this too. So if you do, I have a tutorial coming up on Premiere. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here, we're going to hit play. So when you hit play, you can see that it's a little blue line behind it is tracking that object. And it's going to do the right angle turn. Flash. And then after this, it's going to go funky because the camera's going to lose it. So what we're going to do now is going to right click and go to tracking and hit stop. When we hit stop, that completed what we set out to do here. So now we have this. And down here, let's see, let's get me out of here for a sec. Now, down here, you can see it kind of colored blue. Okay, that's where we did some work there. So we come back here, we can change this. We right click it and we go to configuration. We go to configuration. Now that's blue. Now these come in, every time you do this, it'll be a different color. So it just did blue. So if we want, we can change that to red. So we hit that, we hit apply, and now we have a red thing. Now if you look down here, this turned red here at the bottom too. So that's one thing that we can do. Now when we go back and we hit play, watch what happens. Okay, so it whipped itself out. Star Wars. Yeah, it whipped itself. Well, it shows you the entire track. Now, here's some variables here. We come back and we click on this. We go to visibility. Now this is show before this point or after this point. What that does is that says make the red line before the point or after. On tracking, we can start a new one. See the future. So if that's turned on. Now, if I turn that off and rewind it, it will not show you where the UFO or whatever you're tracking is going. It's just going to show you it as it goes. So that's another option you might want to do. Now, you might look at this and go, hey, that line it's a little thick. So you can come here and you can make it thinner. Hit apply, and now you got a thinner line. Well, but the thing is, and that's kind of what I did with the M video. I kept it kind of thin. Maybe I did 2 pixels, but if you get it too thin, if you have questions, just drop them in, and I'll try to answer them as we go. If you make it too thin and you render it out, hi Linda, how you doing? And you render it out, you might lose it in a render. So sometimes if you're going to pass this video around, say you upload this to Twitter. Twitter compresses the hell out of stuff. So you probably might not want it thin. You might want it thicker. So some other options here. Visibility. Options, see future. Options, show label track. So that shows labels. And this is a cool tool. Later on different episodes, we can get into measuring. That does something wacky. Let's see what that does. But this is an easy video because it auto tracks. And what I mean by that is it stands out so much that it will automatically do this. Now, if it's like the M video, that needs to be done 1 frame at a time because that's pretty messed up. And also, some other things I can show you. You can go from the trajectory one, you can relabel that, whatever, like UFO 1 or something. You could put in different, across a circle or target. Measurements here. You can go from speed, horizontal velocity, vertical velocity, acceleration, horizontal, vertical acceleration. Let me show you what speed does. So if I turn on speed, this is going to be these 2 boxes, so you can change those. So under here you got thick ones, thick lines, you got dotted lines. So there we go. So let's see what this does. So that's going to do its speed, but you might need a speed label. So for visibility, tracking, want to see speed. Sometimes you got to get these. There we go. Now that's all lined up. So now that's going to show you it's moving at about roughly 20 pixels per second. And then when that flash happens, the theory back in '91 was we were shooting these things down with Reagan's Star Wars. So flash, and then look at the acceleration. Then it's 69, so it doubles, it triples. So then how would you do some math here? So let's map the shit out of this. Most of us probably don't know shit about math. So we got ChatGPT to make up for us sleeping in math class, right? So, pixels per second. So, you would ask, say, ChatGPT, let's say this is moving at 10,000 miles an hour, at 10,000 pixels per second, going at, what was it, about 20 here, and then it triples the speed. So then, you could just, get a hold of some physicist or whatnot and have them do the math for you. I'm not a math guy, I'm a computer dude. So that is kind of a quick lesson in that. Now, more stuff. Check this out. Down here on these bottom tools, let's bring back KINOVEA. Down here on these tools, let's see some of the other stuff we can do. We have a zoom option here, so you can zoom in on it. With a paintbrush, you want to paint around. And then you can hit Control-Z to undo. This is a one I like. This is a one where you can figure out the exact turn. So you just click on it, you put that on there, and then you can go, well, it did either a -40, depending on on how you position these. Yeah, about 47-degree turn. That's what it is. So yeah, that's a pretty hard damn turn. The one I had, it did a turn like that, like 180 or something. So that's another tool you can use. And then we go back. Let's hit play. And you can do adjustments on this to figure out how long you want these. You know, if you want them on the screen the whole time, you just want them to kind of flash up there. Like that. All right. So when you're done, oh, also when I was rehearsing a little bit with this today, this crashed like an MFer. It crashed a lot. So what you'll want to do is you're going to want to come up. You're going to want to come back into KINOVEA here and hit File, Save, and then you can hit Save this as. And what it'll do is it'll save this so you can bring it back up. Now, if you go to export videos, there's a few things you can do. You can go to export video. It'll export this entire thing with the KINOVEA tracing on it. You can export it as a document. You can export this as a spreadsheet, trajectory. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can export this metadata. Other things, there's a stopwatch in here. There's a thing where you can do positionings and line them up. This is really useful. Human. Let's talk about this for a bit. There's a video coming out by Clive Christopher in a couple of months, and they brought over Chris McDonald, and he had filmed 2 flying humanoids at the time. From what I hear now, he filmed another one. So this guy's like the flying humanoid magnet. So when I was looking at his footage, I broke out this this humanoid thing here, and the reason is because his footage turns like this, so you can take the flying humanoid and lay it over his footage and say, okay, there's a room for footage in there. So like you can move these around and say, okay, it bends, you know, at a certain area. So this is also helpful if and when you get 2 flying humanoid video. And there's not one. You can also right click over this and see all the stuff it gets. So there's not just 1 flying humanoid. Oh no, there's another one. There's a more simple one. So you get 2 free flying humanoids. But wait, there's more. If you hover over this, you'll get other math stuff that we fell asleep in math class. This grid here is killer. Check this out. You can put this grid on here, right? So you say, well, what the hell is this good for? Well, this is good for a lot of stuff. I have an all-sky camera that maps the sky, and maybe I want to formulate this in here. When an aircraft flies over, I can figure out, using flight radar, how far it went in a mile, superimpose it, and with this, I know what a square mile is by putting this in. So let's go back to this. So you could take this and make this on your canvas, whatever your video happens to be. So this is another tool that I use to study the green electric tube. So there's some of these, some of these, some of these, some paint. So that is that. How's everything going? Flying humanoid. Paul. Yes, there's a flying humanoid. On my channel, wait till this is over, and then go back and watch 4K Skywatching Season 3, Episode 3, or something like that. I filmed a flying humanoid 11 months ago in 4K. And you can see the whole video how I found it. Just panning around and aim the camera up. And I thought, hey, there's this black thing. What's this black thing? So zoomed in at 25 power. Didn't know what it was. It looked like a black cross. So I'm like, what the hell kind of Omen 2 shit is this? I don't want to film like black crosses and all that, you know, coffin-shaped UFO. Forget it. Just bring me the saucer or something. That was weird. In hindsight, I should have took those binoculars and ran outside and kept going. But I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. And then a few days later, the Jeremy Corbell video comes out of the jellyfish. And I'm like, oh shit, think I got something. So I wasn't familiar with those type of objects, those shapes. And then I did fell down a rabbit hole with that. But anyway, yeah, Chris got a few of them. And what's weird is on mine, there's like a gray flight suit when you blow it up, some kind of black things for hands and some kind of black things where the feet would be. And Chris has the same thing on his, a match. So again, like the thing in New Jersey, if this is government testing drones, why in the hell are they testing them right over populations of millions of people? They got airports, we got the desert. You know, if it crashes, it won't come down on a house. So that tells me this is not experimental stuff. This is, and you know, jetpack flying humanoid people are. That's not like, that's not technology that's been around like version 6. There's beta versions of that, for Christ's sake. So let's get to the M video. I want to show you guys the M video. So I want you guys to pick out what part of the M video that I'm going to work on. Keep in mind that I'm following the M video with the camera, and we have to get an area where the camera stops moving, because we can't trace it where the camera's moving. It won't really work right. So let's I got this queued up. So let's play. There's 6 traces in here. So let's roll it. Paul, watch. Make sure you figure out what part you want. I found a couple of parts. It's got to be where the camera is not moving and the object isn't focused for a few seconds. This might be hard to see at home. If you can jack up your resolution to 2K, I think the stream's pretty good. You'll see it better than that. You won't see this on your phone. This was one difficult thing to record. I've seen this around. This is the best time I got it. It usually ditches me. I almost think it knows I'm recording it. If I tried UFO DAP on this, it would just get me a few seconds. I have enough experience, I can kind of predict where I think it's going to go with anticipation, so I can position the camera a little bit ahead of it. And UFO DAP will never have that. AI will never be able to do that. How the hell is AI going to know where this thing might go? That takes experience. I'm thinking maybe right there, right before it went into that cloud. What it's doing is it came down, it did that half circle where I traced it. Now it's going to come down and do another half circle. So it's kind of like it's doing crazy not quite racetrack patterns, but something along the lines. There it's going to do a half circle, but it's staying in this general area sort of over me, messing around. These clouds are about at 10,000 feet. This thing is under the clouds. The aircraft that took off was about at 4,500 feet, because they're all strictly controlled by Phoenix ATC. So this is about the part where it does the M part. So yeah, there I'm using, I have you can see I have the future on, so it shows just faintly where it's going to go. So it did this M type shape, like the Chris Miller video did. And then it stops, and then it does another M, so it goes out the same way it comes in. What in the hell can do something like that? I mean, it left those crumbs, and I found them. And then it speeds up here, and, you know, kind of like that shuttle thing. You know, it can double or triple its speed at any point. And what happened is, in the full video of this, it went down, it stopped, and then it went straight back up. That's how it ended up losing me. So that's the M video. When I was talking with George Knapp last year when we were shooting that, I'm pretty sure it was him. We were sitting here, or he's sitting here, and I was over there, and we were talking about these videos, at least some of the ones that I have. They're leaving things behind that I can find, but I found them with KINOVEA. If it wasn't for this software, I mean, I see it reverse. I'm like, hey, let me take this. Let me see how it reverses. And it fucking blew me away when it bounced off the sky like that. I mean, what can do that without... That's driving straight into a wall. And George said something like, when you have a group of them, and they show up, and 3 of them form a line, and then a triangle. In the sky, they're just saying, these ain't balloons. It's kind of like, hello, down there, here's a triangle, and here's a line. Do you get it? We're not balloons. Now I get it, you know. And I think the M formation might be another one. We just don't have enough damn data to figure this out. We need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of UFOs to sample through what the hell this all means. Let's slow down here, catch up with hey, Jason, how are you? Good to see you guys. Every time I do this at 450, something goes to hell, and I freak the F out going, shit, should I switch to stream here? Should I go back to fucking... It always happens, but you're guaranteed to have some fun shit on Friday night. I am going to be doing a live Skywatch on New Year's Eve, and probably on New Year's Day, too. So fireworks going off around town, whatever drones and stuff is going to be live here on January 31st. So let's go back. Let's get this M video loaded into KINOVEA. So we're going to come back here. We're going to go find the video. So let's go to here. Open this video. Let's go into storage. Oh, okay. Surveillance videos. This one. Mapping. Section 4. Nope, we don't want to save that. All right, this is loaded. This is loaded the M video now. So let's go find the section we need. All right, so we'll just skip through this. Did anybody come up with anything? Hey, Terry, how you doing? Holy shit, thanks, Cat. Hey, thanks for that super chat, Catfish. I didn't see that. I have a weird wonky chat here to scroll over. Let me just check. And oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, this chat's rolling. Oh, okay, let's answer some questions real quick. Xavier, I wonder if Knapp has seen Nick Williams footage. Xavier, thanks for subscribing. Who is Nick Williams footage? I'd like to see that. Oh, catfish. Thank you, catfish. Thank you so much. Uh, I would like to do this in Wyoming. Any suggestions? And I'm going to slaughter your name. I barely speak English. More Kovia Studios. Where would I get a starter camera? Man, make sure you watch next week. Next week, we're getting deep into that shit. But wait for the end of the show. I'm going to tell you how. I'm not the guy. I know it's ironic for Tom King to tell you how to do cheap skywatching, but hey, I got some suggestions. Yeah, you take that shower. Yeah, Xavier, this is free. It's called KINOVEA. There's a link. There's a link in that other description that should have been here. That's free software, and there's another one I'm going to do later called Fuji, and that's free software too, and that's really good to map out the sky. I thought about doing that Patterson footage of Bigfoot with some of this stuff, but just to show complicated shit. But we might get into that later. Oh yeah, Nikki Williams. I already did that. I spent 30-something hours on Nikki's footage and stabilized that. But anyway, let's get back to the job at hand here. So what we're going to do is going to find this clip. Maybe it was before that. Yeah, right about here. All right. So let me get this prepared by enlarging the canvas so you guys can see a little bit better what the hell I'm about to do. So this is a frame by framer. I'm not going to be able to hit this button because it's gonna get lost because we're dealing with diddly squat. So here's what we're going to do. That's there. I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to hit. So you get all these options here. I'm going to hit track path like we did before, and I'm going to put it over. That's real freaking hard to see. Let me make this even larger for the people back home. All right, so now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to right click this. Since this is hard, this is going to be real freaking hard. See the crosshair I got there? So you want to use the smallest thing you can, especially when it's on a small target like this. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to take this down to 2. We can change that later. And we're going to hit apply. Now we're ready to go. Now, I'm going to show you what happens if I just hit the play button. Ooh, got some. That's good. That saved me about 5 minutes. And it screwed up. So what we do here is we're going to roll back. Hit play again. Well, that went 5 Charlie sideways there. This is obviously going to be a frame by frame situation. Let's rewind just a tad. I got to find my entry point. Right when it goes back into focus. All right, so same thing. Track path. Now I got purple this time. I'm gonna remove that back to red. Red just a little bit easier to see. Hit apply. All right, now we're gonna have to use this button down here. We're gonna have to use frame by frame. This is one of those you're screwed. This is gonna be a while, But there's not a lot of frames here to look at. So let's get to action. So this is how them videos. So you're gonna use that frame by frame, and it is gonna move. When it stops moving or it goes wrong, that's when you go to edit. And then you get a feel for these. I mean, I do most of the stuff I do isn't my video; it's somebody else's. So far, it's working pretty good. Some of these you can go back and edit and fix. This can be extremely time consuming. And then if you go off, just go in and fix. Just go in and, hey, I'm off a little bit. You know, move over there. So there's my target. And then we continue. And with, there goes something flying by. Probably, I'm thinking that's an insect flying by in between the camera. So it's working pretty good. As long as it's in focus. So this is how the sausage is made. And, you know, if it's really close, now it needs to be adjusted again. And, you know, if I'm doing this for, you know, somebody who sent this in, I'm going to just go through this, you know, bananas, one frame at a time. It's going to be damn near perfect. You know, I'm doing this here for illustration. So it's going to be a bit off. And then when it gets to the end, I know I'm going to have to readjust that camera, so that's going to be the end. So this one will be kind of a quick one. All right, so there, hit Control Z and then back up. Another time, Control Z, and let's just stop the tracking. So here's what we got. So that's how you track a path on anything. So let's take a break here and get to the questions. I hope I got your name right, Mr. Studios. Jason X, yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw the 10 event. I'm glad to see anything from, you know, for a while, I would, you know, when a lot of the witnesses were alive and stuff, I'd be jealous. You got to see the boomerang. It was like peanut butter and chocolate. You got to see the boomerang. But Tom, you filmed it. But I filmed flares. But you saw the alien crap. But you filmed at least something. Just be glad you get anything, you know. Appreciate what you have. You might not have it. So let's get through more questions. Oh yeah, Nikki's footage. All right, Wyoming. Yeah, you can do this in Wyoming. You can do this anywhere. So you basically, let's say Xavier. So you basically mask a smartwatch window, something like that. Yeah, I mean you can't screw the video up. And it's great to give. How do you make this shit when you give it away for free? Shows your frame. Yeah. If you guys have questions, just send me an email. In fact, if you need a video done, just send it to me. The next episode was going to be on how to stabilize videos using After Effects. Now, that's a more complicated one, but I always start with something easy, you know. And you can always rewind my video and go back and follow along. If you have a video that you want me to stabilize live, send it in. A person viewing he saw me on the TV show. He sent in a video, sent it back. He had 2 large objects over Mesa. I don't know what they were. But if you want it done, send it in. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, but I'm not a fan of Sony Psionics. Those cameras are garbage. They look like they come out of a Cracker Jack box. There's nothing comparable to work it against, and it seems to have its own color palettes of weird purples and like if Nick filmed that shot that was on that I gave to Thomas Fessler. And was shot with just a regular camera, we would see whether they were flares or not because we'd see if they're orange. When it turns purple, then anything goes. So zoomed into the front. All right, so yeah, it's cold. It was only 50 degrees here in Phoenix. I know they're near nuclear. What do you guys think's going on with New Jersey? They had what, shitty water? Feel sorry for what's going on, but document it. It may not ever happen again. So back here's the work we did today. Let's do some playback here. And this is a section. So I thought I could do these in sections. And yeah, so then you're gonna want to. There's options in here, like I was saying, preferences, playback. Visible for entire. And there's fading. There's a lot of stuff to try. There's no way I can show everything in here, but I think you guys get a general idea of how KINOVEA works. Freaking hour goes by quick when you fuck the first 5 minutes up. Nah, I'm done, Terry. I'm done with psionic shit. I mean, they're good. Psionics is good if you're camping, and you need to make sure there's no bears sneaking up on you. Not too familiar with Sony ZX. Most Sonys are pretty good. Pretty good. I have a lot of Sony stuff. Yeah, if you got something, send it to me, and I'll send it back. And you know, I'm only going to show anything on here if you guys give me permission. Otherwise, it's under the table research, like the flying humanoid stuff. There's stuff I do I can't show on here because it's reserved for the copyright holder to put out, and however he wants to do it. So yeah, so what's going to happen on the next edition of 4K Skywatching, you know, that works, is a lot of us have an old laptop laying around like this. This thing, I think, is from 2012. It probably came with Windows 7 and then was later upgraded to Windows 10. Not good enough for Windows 11. I have piles of these things. I'm not shitting you, like hotcakes. Some of them I even gave away. It's like, you want to need a little computer? Here's a computer. These are good because they can do things. They can do independent jobs. So you can assign that computer to just watch the Cosmic Watch. Hook the Cosmic Watch and have it doing nothing but Cosmic Watch work. You can have it hook up and do nothing but camera work. I'm going to drop the email in here. So now with that laptop, I'm going to show you how you can build your own Skywatching portable system out of it. So Xavier, you haven't used Skywatcher. Richard, I got one recently, but it's cloudy. Yeah, cloudy. Hey man, Richard, what I do is when it's cloudy like today, it's overcast. You got in the daytime, you bring the brightness down to about 25 to 32% on your cameras. If you can't do it in your camera, do it on your television. That'll help. Also, well, I use thermal because then I can see them drop out of the clouds. So I switch to thermal when that happens. Also, fuck. I don't think Rhonda's watching this anymore. Yeah, I bought another one. Fucking fell down the rabbit hole. I have 3 of these on the roof, forked out, right? I don't have one. I don't have one to take on the road. So when I go out mobile sky watching, how you doing, Cold? How you doing, Kenny? I don't have a thermal camera. I got to take it off the roof. That means I got to walk, unscrew a couple things. So I ordered another one, and I did not get a good price for it. I paid a lot. So that's the email if you want to send anything. I paid for quite a bit of money for this one. But I wanted it. So anyway, the next episode is going to show you how to hook up one of these cheap ones. Now this is a $30 4K camera. I'm going to show you how to hook it up to a laptop with no internet needed. So you can take this anywhere. You can take it out on the road, whip out your laptop, get a comfortable chair out, put your camera, set it on a tripod, and you're ready to roll. A little bit more money, you can get thermal, and you can start seeing day and night. You can even get a cheap $500 dome camera that's 4K hook that up, put that on a tripod, so you can take all this type of stuff with you. And remember, since Google shadow bans UFOs, then use them for a free NVR. If you're skywatching and you're doing it live, upload your Skywatch privately to YouTube, and in case something happens, you got a copy of it. You don't have to start recording. You're already recording right now. So I'm going to show you how to hook all this up. I'm going to show you with the cheapest PO adapter you can get, up to the most expensive ones for expansion. I'm going to show you how you can even take an NVR with and use it that way. So I keep getting more gear. I keep telling myself, that's it. I'm never buying another piece of gear until something burns out and I replace it with something better. But fucking, I guess this is a good habit. I mean, if you're going to get addicted to something, buying and skywatching isn't a bad addiction. There's worse things people can't quit. Control system engineer. Oh, well, Xavier, you'll do just fine. Paul, I don't know what you need. What's a laptop? God damn it, Paul. You didn't even see my flying humanoid video. You don't have a fucking laptop? Go get one. You can get one of these things for like $50 on eBay. Yeah, I get it. I mean, the younger kids, they only have phones. They don't have like computers or cars and shit. But if you want to do this at a decent level, you know, get a used laptop off eBay. Now there are some limits. You can skywatch with it. You can control the camera with it. You can access the camera with it. However, you're going to be kneecapped if you want to get into UFODAP. A UFODAP stands for UFO Data Acquisition something. Fuck, I don't know. Something like that. But you can hook up their OTDAU, as is Optical Tracking Data Acquisition Unit software, which is $95, and that will automatically track stuff for you. However, you need, I think, an i5 or maybe an i7 processor. And the reason is because you're looking through frames and frames and frames per second, right? And it's analyzing every single pixel of whether it's 1920 by 1080i or whether it's 3040 by 2160 resolution. It's looking at every damn one of those pixels every second. It's looking for adjustments that screwed up, and then it's figuring out, is it too small, is it too big, what are the tracking parameters to grab it. So you need a pretty decent computer for that. You don't need a piece of shit. Ain't gonna work. But a piece of shit is good for at least, you know, you can record in the camera. You can put an SD card in the camera, right? Most cameras you can, so you can record to that. That way you don't need the processing power to record it into a laptop. That's how you can get by cheap. So old shitty laptop, $30 IP camera. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're going to get into UFODAP is going to be multi-layered sessions, because that's very technical and people have a lot of problems with that. That is not plug and play. That's like when you start getting into master classes, skywatching. When you're such a good hunter, you bring home a deer every season, or when you fish, you bring home, you know, you catch a big one. When you become a skywatcher and you're damn good, then you get the UFODAP. That's where the advanced kids are hanging out on the UFODAP Discord. And, you know, I didn't even know how to hook this laptop stuff up until last week. A guy on the channel, Qbert, emailed me a whole bunch of stuff, and I got it all figured out. So I'm going to pass that information back, and this is going to be, these podcasts are going to be great learning sessions. So we can feed off each other's information. What I know, I'm going to put out there in easy tutorials. And I know I'm already getting feedback from you guys. So collectively, this is going to be good for the UFO community. The UFO community is mainly mudslinging and grifters and stuff like that. But it could be a positive experience. It could be, we could do stuff together instead of just backstabbing, front stab. We can go after these objects, figure out what the hell is flying over us as a community together. So next time, tune in Friday at 5. We're going to go through, this might be a 90-minute might be a 2-hour session because it's technical. Next time it's gonna take a while to explain all this stuff. There's gonna be some networking. There's gonna be some thermal. There's gonna be some shit talk. It's gonna be some fun. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna be back on live on the 31st. We're gonna do a New Year's Eve live Skywatch. Gonna have the thermals up. Probably not gonna do any tutorials. Be drinking coffee all night. You guys crack whatever beverage you want. Tune in if you want. Leave it in the other room. I'll be talking, and if something happens, just come in and rewind the shit. I want to thank everybody for watching. Paul, Xavier, Smoke and Sweet, Terry Hall. Didn't see Dave Altman this time. I'm cold. Kovia Studios. Damn, that's an interesting name. Oh, and Renee. Oh, and thank you so much, Mr. Catfish, for that super chat. It doesn't matter where you are. You can skywatch. UFOs are global. And Linda came by. Renee Cruz came by. Larry Potter. How you doing? And I can't thank enough my wife, who does my sound checks and gives me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if I got this. But I'll see you guys next Friday. Or no, we'll see you guys Tuesday night if you want to hang out, and we'll shoot the shit. And I'll do some more gear lessons. We're going to do some gear lessons next time. And I want to thank everybody for watching. 4th episode of this educational series, an instructional